Olam chesed yibaneh. Olam chesed yibaneh. Olam chesed yibaneh. Shabbat Shalom, almost Shavuot Tov. Welcome to next week now. When we say goodbye to this Shabbat, we say hello to this upcoming week. We talk a little bit about the Torah that's coming up this week. We formally end Shabbat with Havdalah. So this Shabbat, we actually ended already our first book of the Torah. I know, it's hard to believe. I feel like we just started the Torah over again at Simchat Torah, and we're already done with the book of Genesis. And as I talked about, I mentioned that when we end the book of the Torah, we say, Chazak, Chazak, v'nit chazek. Be strong, and may we all be strengthened. And so now we move on to already the book of Exodus, the book of Shemot. But seeing as we are in triennial year 3, we don't begin this week with the very, very beginning of Exodus. We're at the third shlish of this week's Torah portion. So if you're going to look at the entire first Torah portion of the book of Exodus, Parashat Shemot, it's the same name as the book, then you're looking at Exodus chapter 1, verse 1 through chapter 6, verse 1. But if you're going to focus on the third shlish, then you're going to begin at chapter 4, verse 18, and go through chapter 6, verse 1. And this is where we already have Moses. He's already an adult, and he's already on his way back to Egypt after living out in the wilderness. He met up with the Midianites. He found his wife Zipporah, and his father-in-law Jethro is telling him some words of advice, and Moses goes back to Egypt for the first time to begin this process of assisting God and helping us be released from bondage. And so if you then want to take a look at this week's Haftarah, we are in the book of Isaiah, chapter 27, verse 6 through chapter 28, verse 13. And we have a couple of verses in chapter 29 that are tagged on at the end. Chapter 29, verse 22, verse 23. So again, that's chapter 27, verse 6 through chapter 28, verse 13. And then chapter 29, verses 22 and 23. Just a little bit tagged on there. And with that, we are ready to begin saying goodbye to Shabbat. And in order to do that, we will sing our melody for Havdalah, the separation ceremony between Shabbat and the rest of the week. If you know it, I invite you to please join in with me. Yai lai 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 yai lai 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 yai lai 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 yai lai 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 yai lai lai yai lai 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 yai lai 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 yai lai 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 yai lai 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 yai lai lai. Our first blessing is for our wine, our kiddush. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen, Borei peri hagafen. Yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, lai 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 lai, lai 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 lai. We now smell our spices, and it reminds us that we should have a good new week. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei minei v'samim, borei minei v'samim. Yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 yai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 yai lai lai. We now hold up our twisted candle, representing all the different streams and groups of Judaism, all intertwined into one. We hold it up, and the light represents the light of Shabbat. You can hold up your hand, and you can hold up your hand, and you can try to get some of that light shined on your hand. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei meorei ha'esh, borei meorei ha'esh. And now, with the dipping of our candle and extinguishing the flame in our wine, we signify the end of Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamavdil ben kodesh lechol. Listen for the sizzle. Hamavdil ben kodesh lechol. Yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 yai lai lai. Now we sing a song for peace. Eliyahu Hanavi, we ask that Elijah the prophet comes and tells us that it's now an age of peace on earth. Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishbi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu Hagiladi, Bimhera ve'amenu, Yavo Eleinu, Im Mashiach ben David, Im Mashiach ben David, Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishbi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu Hagiladi. On Shabbat we say Shabbat Shalom, and when we're done with Shabbat we say Shavua Tov. May you have a good week. Shavua Tov, 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 Shavua Tov. A good week, a week of peace. May gladness reign and joy increase. A good week, a week of peace. May gladness reign and joy increase. Shavua Tov, may you have a good week. And for those who may be going to bed soon, we're going to join in with a bedtime Shema, and we'll sing Hashkivenu, asking God to watch over us as we sleep and throughout our lives. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. And again, we ask God to watch over us as we sleep, watch over us throughout this life and the next. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom v'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom v'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim. Shavua Tov, may you have a good week, and Laila Tov, may you have a good night, and I will see you next time. Thank you. Goodbye.